the one in COVID will want to change that.
The name, right, we'll make that change. Are we on, Joe?
Yep, we are ready to go.
Mary?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to call the Board of Commissioners meeting to order, please. Ask everybody to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everybody that has taken the time to come into our meeting today. And hopefully we have a lot more online on this rainy day. Roll call, please.
Groats.
Present.
Ott.
Here.
Burgess.
Here.
Bowman.
Present.
Obermeyer.
Here also, open meetings law is posted on the south side of our chambers. It is in the hallway outside of our chambers, also posted on our website. Proof of publication was in the News Times October 9th. It was also posted on our website. Next up, we need to review and approve the minutes of our last Board of Commissioner meeting, September 30th.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion?
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Groats.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Ott.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Adopt today's agenda.
Move to adopt. Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Burgess.
Yes.
Ott.
Yes.
Groats.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. First up is officials forum. A couple of them in the room. Morning, Harv.
Good morning, everyone. Harvey Kime, York County Highway Superintendent. Just waiting on seeding for the projects to finish up the asphalt projects. I don't know when they're going to come. I thought it was going to be last Thursday. They did not show up. So I will rattle their cage, I assume, and I'm just assuming they're waiting until it dries out just a little bit so they can clean things up better. But anyhow.
Or you did mention there's some painting they got left to finish too as well.
Yes. They did not put the white lines on Road G out there because there was too much dirt on there. When they get done planning, then they will have to sweep everything off anyhow. They was going to clean up that time, then the stripers will have to come back and finish striping the roads is what they will do. So that's what's left on that, and that all comes out of ARPA. So,
And that will be hard, but sorry to interrupt, but with ARPA, with what's being delegated today, there's $1,200, something like that left. Will that be more than enough or not enough? Probably.
it should be whatever the original contract is. That's
Okay.
how much it should be.
Just looking at getting it cleared, because we have till the end of the year to clear it out. So just looking
I
at
was
getting it
hoping it
cleared out.
would be cleared out by the end of October.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, if not, I
So
guess
I
we'll,
hope the weather straightens out so they can get their planning done so we can get the bill by next meeting.
That'd be
That's what
great.
I'm hoping.
that'd be great. Thank you.
Other than that, but that's where the paving projects are. And the road S over there that we had spoke of, they took care of that it was done by the end of the last meeting is what it was done. So that is a little smoother road over there now. Uh, We're still working on Road K between 4 and 5 down there. We're trying to get that thing to solid up. It's a problem down there. We are now starting on, well, they went down to Road 6 and cleaned what they could on the box down there. Problem with that one is there was water, about 6 feet of water in the doggone thing, and you can't do much when you have that much water in there. So they cleaned out what they could, but that's where it is. They have now moved over to Road 12 between G and H, and they will be starting on that project to get that one done, hopefully before the snow flies. Other than that, we're just hauling gravel and lighting roads when we can. So,
Okay. Anything else? Andy, Daniel, questions? Or
No.
add to, or anything like that?
Just, while we're talking about roads, seem to be getting reports of people, personal, yards. And so just a reminder that that is county property and it should stay on the county roads.
that would be good.
The other thing is, Chairman mentioned it last week, with harvest, a lot of, farm equipment on the roads. And now with it being wet, just plead for your patience and use wise judgment when you're driving around with the farm equipment out there. As a grain cart driver, we'll get out of your way as soon as we can. We don't like to be out there in your way, so we'll try to get out of your way as soon as we can.
I think a couple of weeks ago, there was Odo County and Hall County, I believe, both had a semi train on the same day.
You know,
So I mean, it's this time of year. We see it every year, and
Well, with railroad tracks, I don't care where you're driving, the train's gonna win, so you better give them the right of way, because they're gonna take it anyhow.
well,
So anyhow,
they're not moving. They're not swerving to get you. They're
No,
just
they're
right there.
not.
So that's the sad part of those.
and up in, I think it was in North Dakota, a combine operator and train collision. And so it can happen in every direction.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's-
Thanks, Harv.
well, you got one more thing.
Okay.
I know it's already out there, but just remind you guys, thank you for the opportunity to work for York County. But I am retiring as of October 31 is my last day. So there you are. Thank you. I think we've done a lot of good. So anyhow,
Now, technically speaking, October 31st is not a work day.
you're correct.
So it's your last day, but your last work day is the 30th, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to clarify that.
10 and a half.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you, Harv.
You
Yeah,
bet.
thanks for everything you put into York County roads.
Okay, officials. Gary, you're the only other official in the room. You want to talk to us today?
Anything really new to report today?
Okay. All right, now we're up to public comment. At this point in time, the public may step forward if they wish and talk for 2-3 minutes about something. It is up to them. We encourage them as they come forward to, if you're coming forward, name and address for the record, please, once you get to the microphone, and please pull the microphone to you. And this is not, just to remind you too, this is not a Q&A, it's just a comment time for you.
Definitely. Thank you, Chairman. My name is Rakesh Pai, and I own some of those so-claimed neglected properties on I-80 in Henderson. So I just came to get the record straight. It seems in the last meeting, there was some public opinions about neglected properties on I-80, and there were comments made. So I just wanted to correct those and revisit, because my understanding is if there is something wrong with some property or some facilities, there is an owner. There's an owner. That's why we have ownership. There's an owner. I think the first step would have been a better way to reach out to the owner, discuss what's going on, if there's anything wrong. If the owner neglects or if the owner is not responsive, then I think it becomes an issue. And that's what I have a lot of properties, and everywhere that the norm has been followed. Okay, not speculation, not hearing, because people may have everybody has their opinion, everybody has a right for their opinion, how they feel, okay? So for example, negative publicity is free. That's the norm of, free country. Negative publicity is free. Nobody has asked for anybody, but they give you free. If I want good publicity, I have to pay for it. You see what I'm saying? So that's where my concern here is. When people say nasty, nasty, nasty mattresses, yes, it's not dirty. It's not mattresses. I can address why the things are there. They are box spring. There is construction material. We are fixing the place. There's construction material sitting right in front of my property. I'm fixing my canopy area. We are an outdoor entity, outdoor establishment, very little room. We all know we are Nebraskans. We know the weather challenges we run into, high winds, rain. So are you expecting me to do this outside in the rain? I can't do this. That will be a waste of my time. So everything is right here, physical. And if somebody would have reached out to me, I would have been so much welcome to walk them and show them, hey, this is what the plan is. This is what I'm doing. This is the transitioning. I'm transitioning my business from a migrant. I used to host migrant for the agricultural related housing. And I am compliance with federal authorities. H2A is what they're known as. And so nobody should be doubting me. I'm in compliance with fire, compliance with, as a matter of a few years ago, the sheriff was visiting me, asking me, oh, what about, you're going to host 200 people. And there will be, what about the sewer? I said, who brought this to your attention? Oh, I came to know. Okay, understood, no problem. But we did host 200 people, and we, as a person who owns it, I know what I need to address. I spent a lot of money, $6-figure dollars, to fix my sewer line, to fix my sewer, which was abandoned for many years, okay? I am not the gentleman who was previously there. I own the place, but I'm not gentleman like the Ukrainian. No, I think if that's the misunderstanding you guys have, then that's wrong. I'm not that person, okay, number one. Number two, that is one statement. The second statement is from Mr. It seems it's affected the business that I was trying to operate right across the road. Who claimed that? Do you even know what is going on in the front? Nobody knows what is going on in the front. You just can't tell me that, hey, the other person closed because of no, I'm doing business. I'm 70% occupied. Yeah, only the crews just left in September. 70% occupied. People would not be living in that place. Everybody has a brain and mind. They would have not lived in a place if it was non-inhabitable. They are living in my rooms because they are modernized. Every room has a stove. I spent a lot of money there. It's just not showing up because I do it my pace. That's from my young days coming into this country with full scholarship, full education, 2 masters. I believe in Rome was not built in a day. It was built slowly, one step at a time. I'm not going to jump ahead. No, it will be one step at a time, my way, but the right way. If anybody has a suggestion, I will take it. I'm not going to put a gun range on my property. No, I don't care whether Henderson people like it or they don't like it. No, that will not happen. No, there are other areas. There are other. Nebraska has a lot of land to do that kind of activity. Not on my property. No, there are a few things that we have to live by my principles. That there are a few things that happen. The other aspect is that property is nothing abandoned. It's been leased to a state contractor. And as everybody must have seen, everybody can see it. It's been leased to a state contractor. The state contractor is finishing up with his job this month. They're finishing up. They're putting those in the median. As soon as they're done with the job, they will fix my place. They will do all the cleanup and everything. I just had a word with them yesterday. And I showed them this also. I said, people speculate. That's the nature. Without background information. By the way, the business in the front didn't close because of me. Zero, nada, no. They have their own problems. They have their own problems, okay? When people don't pay for fuel, nobody can do it. You guys do farm, you have to pay for your products. Nobody will give you for free, send free, no. So nobody, so that is the reason, I just want to correct the course. No, not because of me, because of some problems which I don't want to discuss in public, that's their problem.
Rakesh, we do this just for a few minutes, so
Yes.
I'd ask you to find a closing on
Okay,
this,
but the
if you
closing
would,
is,
please.
the closing is, I also appreciate it, this is the ownership, you have to work with the ownership, okay? You work with me, you have invited, you have my number, everybody knows me in Henderson. I'm not an unknown number, everybody knows me in Henderson, a lot of people know me in Henderson, even though we have, agreements, disagreements, just because we have disagreements does not mean we are not friends. We are friends, we know each other, but call me, Rakesh, we want to visit, tell me what is wrong, I'll fix it. I have the means to fix it. It's not like, I have the means to fix it. If it's correct, I will say, I'm going to do this way. We work together. It's a teamwork, always. Okay, not being a bad publicity like this. TV, because I got 200 phone calls. You can understand, as long as I have some bad wishes, I have good wishes too. I can show you on my phone. As a matter of fact, the very next day I showed up here on the 1st of the month. And I had a word with Chairman. I was here when I told him, how did I know? I was in Seattle. I came from there, I flew out. I said, what is going on? He said, oh, Rakesh, the motel was on the, okay. I converted this place. It was a bad drug house. I took over and I changed this. I lose a lot of business. If I wanted, I can make mint money here. It's right on the interstate. But I don't allow druggies on this place. You can ask anybody, ask the sheriff also. The previous sheriff came and visited me and told me one time, Rakesh, the number of people calling us has gone down drastically. Thank you. Yeah, it's as simple as that. You keep trouble away from you, things will always automatically be good. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So let's the commissioner, if you want to come and check with me, you have my number. If you want, I can give you my number here in public. Okay.
I have it, we will be in touch.
In touch, yeah. As simple as that. You walk with me, we'll walk through. You tell me what you think was wrong. If there is some tumbleweed growing, jumping tumbleweed, I cannot control the tumbleweed. I can't keep a tumbleweed 24 hours on tumbleweed because it's wind. Wind drives it. It's all farmland around me. When you guys harvest it, it will come running around. So those things we have to. But rest of it, I can even share with me what my plan is, what I'm doing, but not negative.
Not right, not right now. Thank you,
Thank you,
Rakesh.
sir. Okay.
Yep, you have a great day.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else from the public that would like to comment at this point in time?
Chairman, one more different subject, but I think it is related to what we just discussed, Chairman, the Groves discussed. A different subject I want to just touch upon, okay? I have seen in some counties, okay, there's a partnership between private and public, okay, public-private partnership.
Okay.
On things like that are very difficult to find, okay, and counties have easy access to it. I know Mr. Hatt is retiring, but that's why I wanted to bring it. If it's possible, this would be really good that we get, as a private entity, I can get access to some millings or to some cold mix, and I'm not asking for free. We pay. In Dawson County, I pay, and because the counties have access to those items, the state has made it a little bit difficult. It was very easy years ago. Now it has been difficult. So what they do is they recycle.
Is this something we can talk about?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can wait.
Yeah. Well, or talk about after the meeting, or look me up or give me a call. Okay.
Okay.
My number and everything's online.
Okay, sir. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Rakesh. All right. Next up, any other from public? Seeing nobody else get up, we will go into executive session, but we'll wait till towards the end of the meeting on that to do that. There is no general assistance claims that were brought to my attention. We will have to discuss an act on funding transfers today. We have got the Fund 300 is in a little bit of disarray currently. And we will need to transfer some money. Did some math as we speak, and basically what's going on with the 300 fund, guys, is that there are some things that are way ahead of schedule on budget. Go 3 months into the year, what I'm using for my numbers, we should be at 25%. Obviously, we're much more than 25% on a few of those line items. And as we're speaking, the Fund 300 is down $317,000. As the money came into that fund this last week, and with what we're going to transfer over today, it brings it up to $94,000. But unfortunately, the claims today, payroll today, and then as we look forward over the next payroll, which would be at the end of the month, considered the 31st, and then of course the first of the payroll of the next month, we can start doing our normal 177 transfer that we just did in resolution just 2 weeks ago. But unfortunately, with that money, we're going to have to do some form of transfer or pay the 177 ahead. Now, if we pay the 177 ahead, then that kind of gets our 100 fund in just a little bit of jeopardy, because we will not get any money in until the next tax collections. So with what I've come up with is, if we was to transfer 500,000 from inheritance to the 300 fund, that should leave us with about 160,000 roughly in excess after the next claim period. And then that should give us just a little bit of cushion. Now, it's not a huge amount of cushion if we continue to overspend or pre-spend some of these budget dollars that's supposed to last for the whole year. But the 500,000 would give us that 160. And then, the payroll out of the first payroll in November would be covered. We should get our highway allocation money. We should have the 177 transferred in. And if we watch this budget a little closer, a little bit more restraint, then we should be able to be okay. I would also say that 500,000, we wouldn't put in the resolution, as we will need a resolution to transfer money. We wouldn't put in there to pay back this budget year, because I wouldn't want to hamstring us this year, but then I would ask that it be paid back through the next budget year. That way we can budget it, pay it back, and also look at some cash reserves for that fund. In the past, we've never needed cash reserves because we've kind of operated down on staff a little bit. And so we've had that money, it's kind of sitting there as that cash reserve. And this year, when we kind of got the full staff, then we chewed up some of those monies, and we find ourselves in the position that we're in right now. So, thoughts on that? And I can get into the 100 fund if you want to, but I just don't see that as a good way to prepay front load the 177 2 or 3 months, because then we could get the 100 fund in trouble prior to the first of the year.
So let's talk through the 100 fund.
Okay.
And doing the 177 ahead. So if we were to do that, we're still going to be a little bit behind. I mean, we'd be a lot better, but we might be running within a couple $100 either direction of the zero line. If at some point we've budgeted to move money from inheritance into the general fund.
Into the general, yes, into the 100, yes, 600,000.
And traditionally, we've done that later in the budget year, kind of.
Unless we get to that first of the year tax collections and we're nip and tuck there, then we have done it that time of year too. Yes.
Where I was going, if we were to decide to do the transfers into the roads fund early, then and if we think that would be putting the strain on the 100, we could move that money now. But knowing then we don't have that later to move if the 100, if tax collections are slow to come in.
Right.
The other, so that's kind of, I guess, before we move on, what's other people's thoughts on the 100 side?
Currently, prior to this, we had 2.6 million in there, but we we have 6 payrolls between now and the end of the year. And that's roughly 1.5 million, which leaves us just over $1 million. But in the vendor claims today was 400,000 of that $1 million. So it, you know, is one that we have to watch too, but we do have that reserve of 600,000 that we can dump in there. No doubt if we take extra 177, we're gonna have to take that. No doubt about it. And if not more, depending on how our vendor claims, everybody wants to get paid. So
Yeah.
payroll is kind of a firm deal. I mean, that's the way we're gonna be on that, so.
So, obviously, we have to do something to firm up the 300.
No doubt.
We've done it in the past, moving out of inheritance, making it very clear that it's a loan that at some point has to be paid back. So, you know, I'm fine with that. One, we are talking about motor graders today. That is gonna be funded, should there be a purchase, that will be funded out of the inheritance. During the budget process, we talked about both motor grader and truck and trailer for the roads department coming out of inheritance. I'm wondering if we, you know, I think it's at least needed to talk through that as, okay, until the 300 fund is flush, do we need to hold off on equipment purchases using some of that budgeted money from inheritance to help keep the 300 fund running forward?
It's either a conversation we can have now or we can have when we talk about the agenda item on.
Correct, right.
It will be a stumbling block for me. And without hearing some other things about the numbers of motor graders and availability of motor graders and price of motor graders and that part of it, that will personally be a stumbling block for me to spend more money currently until we shore up, as you say it, or see a healthier fund to where we're not concerned or not have you know, the oversight that's going to take on this fund over the next few months to make sure that it's where it's at.
So last year, did we have to move this money at this time, or did it get moved later? And then are we looking at buying motor grader or truck equipment at the same time, or did we order it later?
There was no transfer that I remember last year from inheritance into the roads department, just from the general.
Right.
You know, currently, over the last several years, we've taken what the 300 fund is needed. We've divided it up equally and pay it out over 12 months. It used to be when I first was on the board that we transferred in only 3 times a year. We figured up the percentage of tax asking that the roads department got. And then after we got our lump sums in, then we doled them out. And we felt like this was a better way to do it because it'd be that even streamline of money throughout the year. And unfortunately, when you spend forward just a little bit, it'll get you into trouble. Whereas the old style, it would have been 1/3 of that money came in September. There would have been just a little bit more money maybe to absorb this. And then once again, you know, back to the employee part of it, when we were down 4, maybe 5 people out there but yet budgeted for them, we did carry over. A year ago, we carried over 500,000. You know, this year we only carried over
I think
200,000.
that's the big difference is we had no carryover.
No cash.
No
Right.
ready cash
Right.
like we have in the past.
So there was no transfer last year. Right? It was just
That's
the normal transfers on a monthly basis.
But I guess going back to the purchase of the motor grader, I'm kind of with you, Randy, until we shore up the 300 fund. I think we need to pause on that now, knowing that if we pause on that, there's a very distinct possibility we may incur a $45,000 to $55,000 repair utilizing the same equipment for snow removal primarily that we did last year. There's a transmission issue with one of the motor graders. So to me, that's where we are. That's what we're risking right now is an additional big spend on a transmission repair in the meantime.
And those are questions as well as others that, I figured I'd have for that agenda item, maybe not so much in here.
Yeah. I guess to me, it all needs to be talked about at the same time. Just, I have a real hard time buying a motor grader, and to me, that's double dipping inheritance.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So do we pause on this discussion, move on to discuss the motor grader bids and see what they look like, see if it's a whale of a deal right now, maybe that changes our opinions, and if not, then, or do we feel that we need to?
Well, the fund needs to be dealt with.
Right.
I mean, I'd like to
Correct.
deal with it and then deal with the vendor
Yeah,
claims that's there. That way we're not in the red.
Right,
I
exactly.
mean, we're technically,
Right, we can't-
we are, but we're not
Yeah.
the red after this one. And, so it just looks like there was that 2-week period in there where we were stumbling. And then
I
the
guess-
motor grader would be,
I see what you're saying. We have to do the transfer no matter what, basically, and then the motor grader is whether we want to keep going deeper into the inheritance or
Mhm.
pause at this point. I get where you're going. I get it.
The other thing we need to do is figure out how to fix it so we don't have to do the same thing next year.
Right. Exactly. And I think that comes to just discussing during the budget process whether or not we want to have a reserve in the 300 fund for one, and then two, it basically we've had the ability to get the rock and gravel into the county, and so we've continued to do that. And so then just kind of looking out how we want to do that in the future, knowing our reserve is a little bit shorter than what it was in the past.
any other conversation encircling the transfer?
So really, our decision right now is if we front load the 177 transfer, or if we just do a inheritance
Right.
loan to the 300 fund.
I would definitely be in favor of the inheritance loan and keeping everything else status quo.
You don't want to fix one problem and make two others.
And Mary does have a resolution prepared that states it'd be 500.
Mhm.
It would pay back
And
in the
a
next budget,
loan for repayment
in the
in
next
the next
budget.
year. All right.
As to
Well, I'll-
go through this year without, finding ourselves stumbling at the end of the budget year.
Right,
again.
correct, yep. I will make a motion to approve that resolution, and we'll see where that goes.
I'll second that.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion regarding the transfers? So that, just for clarity, that's 500,000 from the inheritance into the roads by resolution and to be paid back in the 26-27 budget year. Roll call, please, Mary.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes,
Obermeyer.
Yes. And just, so everybody knows too, the inheritance fund, we all get that sheet, we all get the fee sheet. It looked like it had, an influx of 400,000. So obviously there was an estate, there were multiple estates or something that was settled up. I really don't get into the weeds on that, but, so it was sitting at 5.4. But so we also know is we have a payment to Glenwood coming in. And the sprinkler system within the courthouse for the jail will come out of that. So it does have some debt that's been promised against it too. So, okay, next up then, we will approve or not approve payroll and vendor claims. Up to you guys. Everybody had an opportunity to look through those. This one is a little bit bigger. We had some things in there, and obviously with the paving project, that leaves that just over $1,000 in that ARPA. So there was that big number. We had our transfers, which was normal monthly transfers. So the general was up in the 400,000 and stuff like that. Anything else catch your attention? You know, the ongoing saga with the appointed public defenders is in there.
So, as we discussed before the meeting started, within the ARPA fund, we are paying out for the paving project, which I've gotten good feedback on that. People are glad those projects were completed. The amount is $618,903.75. The vendor listed in our report here is Nelly Wagner and Associates. That needs to be changed to the vendor it needs to be paid to Pavers. So I would make a motion to approve payroll and vendor claims with the change of the one vendor name in the what is that fund? 2580.
I would second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? You clear on the adjustment? I think, and I think Harvey said it was at the bottom. It was written at the bottom of what it should be, he
It
thought.
says to pay the contractor. Nellie Wagner is right down there by it. Up above is where you will find the Pavers Incorporated. And it's that contract that you can go back, that we left back in December or whenever it was that we done this.
Right.
That is the company that gets it, Pavers Incorporated.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Groves,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, now, we get to talk about a motor grader. Just you, Harv, you're not gonna drag him with
Well,
you?
no, he's supposed to come along.
He wants to sit at that new table. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, gentlemen.
These are the quotes that we got from Nebraska Machinery and Murphy Tractor.
Thank you, Harvey.
And I also attached the government program that we could bypass putting it in the paper that way on the back of it. Just simply so all the information was there.
So I know this formalities, I apologize, Greg, but
You're right.
names, please.
Harvey Kime, York County Highway Superintendent.
Thank you.
And Greg Heine, foreman at the York County Roads.
Thank you, gentlemen. Harvey, could you briefly just go over the Omnia? That precludes the bidding practice that we would have to take, just for clarity and just to get it on the books, about that, please.
Yes, it is called cooperative purchasing. And this all has been bidded before, so these are all contracts that have been bidded, comes in, it meets the state's regulations, which the last page shows. I've talked to Gary Olson, our county attorney, about this. He is good with it. So it just makes it a faster way of getting it out to where we can start buying, or the equipment is what it amounts to, instead of going through the paper and waiting 2 weeks for it to be published that way. So that is kind of where it is.
So we're not, as we've used this before.
We have not used this.
We have as a county,
Oh, okay.
have used this before. We've used it for purchasing a washer and dryer in the corrections. We've used it for purchasing equipment for the 911. It precludes, or state statute is set up for a reason. But this is also a way that's viable to purchase items. We're not skirting state statute. Just wanted to make that clear that this was very legal way to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is, and I just had never used it before. That's why I said, we, the road department, has never used
Right.
this.
Perfect.
Anyhow, the Nebraska machinery quote was the first one that came in. It is $342,750 is what the price of the machine. If you wanted to go down to a ripper, the option would be another $17,000. If you wanted to go to the high performance circle, that would be another $9,000. If you were going to do this, that machine would then not be able to come in until sometime in 26 because it would be a build machine. And they are going to change the engine in the new machine, so it would not be a C9, it would not be the 9-liter engine. They're going to drop back to a 7-liter engine. This machine that they bid is sitting in Doniphan, Nebraska right now. They just have to put a transmission guard plate on it is all it would need. But that is where it is. The other one is from Murphy Tractor. Gotta find the spot. Their machine is $346,150, but that includes a rear ripper, and the rear ripper is $11,500. Let me find it here so I don't run off with my memory. Yeah, if you do not want the rear ripper, you take $11,500 off of that. Yeah. Off of the $346,150. So if you was to buy one of these machines with no ripper, the Caterpillar is $8,100 higher than what the John Deere is. The John Deere is not going to be available until January of 26. And there's
Regardless. Okay. And the ripper on both of these, is that ripper something that we've had on other equipments? Is this ripper for ripping? Is it, because we've talked about drags in the past, is it for drag construction?
They are designed for ripping. We have one machine with a ripper on it, and that is our construction machine. If you are going to use this to make it drag onto the machine, I think it's a very expensive way of doing it. Because you can go out and start building from the back of the machine, and if you go to the right place, I don't know who makes it, but I have seen them. They come off of the back of the machine, and when the drag folds up, it is standing right straight up behind the radiator. It's not sticking way the heck out back like ours used to do. And that looks like a way better deal than trying to go and build off of the ripper, is what, in my opinion,
Okay.
it would just make sense to go that route.
Okay. Daniel, what did you have?
Yeah, when, so that we clarify why this one has a ripper option, when we were going through and decided that we were gonna, utilize the Sourcewell bidding process, we decided through the discussions that, if there is a thought of maybe getting one or two machines out there with drags to see that option, we asked, the roads department to quote it with the hydraulic options to the back for running that drag lift. And then also we asked for the option to have that ripper on there just to see the differences, knowing that if we decided we didn't want to, we could pull that off, but to see the cost, and then to see if we could utilize that for a drag bracket. Now, talking to Harvey, it sounds like we could go with the ripper if we want to have that for a ripper attachment. But if the sole purpose of having that is to have some type of drag back there, it sounds like that's probably not the right route. Now, just correct me if I'm, or clarify anyway for me, both of these, if we were to pull the ripper option off, still have the controls, the hydraulics and everything back there for that option of adding a drag hydraulic, should we want to in some time, which I think is good to have that option. It's better to build it out here than to try and go add it in later if we decide to go that route. One question that I had, the CAT quote does not include the HP circle. The
No,
John Deere does.
John Deere only builds, they're only,
Okay.
told me they are only building, but they are only producing it with the high performance circle or the, whether
Premium, I think is what they
premium
call it.
circle is what it is. And they aren't even offering the other one anymore, is what the salesman told me.
Okay. And so then the $8,000 difference, did that include the high performance?
No.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
How old's the motor grader that has the ripper on it, do you know?
The one that has the ripper on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stumped him.
Yeah.
sorry.
it's 12 years old, isn't it? Or
Is it 12?
we talked about that.
Oh,
It's over 10.
oh, no, it's older than that. It
Okay.
is clear back into maybe into the early 2000s.
Is that in the circulation of
That machine is used for construction,
only?
and then we use it when it is needed to plow snow with, is what it needs for emergency. That's when it comes into play.
Okay.
Now, the machine that we were talking about trading in is the last of the Fab Five, as they told me. That's a 2010. It has 18,800 and some hours on it right now. Since we last done the transmission and that, we are right back to the point where it's about ready to go.
Go again.
And after doing the snow last spring, the transmission oil smells like burnt clutches, and that's why I parked the machine and did not use it this year. Because if we put it out there, we are going to be putting money into the transmission. And I'm guessing that transmission repair would be about $45,000. And it's like, yeah, I didn't want to run it because I didn't think it was worth putting that money in. That's why it has been parked all summer long.
As we're looking at these apples for apples, John Deere comes in a little cheaper. I did have an operator tell me that if it was him purchasing a new motor grader, he feels the CAT is a lot better rig to run.
Okay, that was,
So if you wanna-
that was gonna be my question, is what do the operators prefer between like Caterpillar and John Deere in general?
The joystick machines are way more comfortable and user-friendly through Caterpillar than they are John Deere. John Deere's is just a little different. The stuff is where it's supposed to be. It's just not as comfortable. It's almost awkward. So when I get into the joysticks with the John Deere machines, I have to go to a happy place and go, where is it supposed to be? And then I can find it. But if I look at it, I can't find it on their machine. And Caterpillar's is where it's supposed to be.
Do we know off the top of your head what our current mix of CAT John Deere is?
11-3.
For cat.
And that is including 2 cats that are clear back, and there's one of them that is out there working right now. It is a 1998, as I recall. And that is the one that is working over in the Waco area right now. And we rebuilt that machine the first year that I was here. And so it's got a little time on that rebuild and it's doing well, but it's where it is.
Sure.
So Harv, on the, as you mentioned, obviously you've had conversations with the CAT rep going from the 7-liter, dropping down. I assume they're doing like the other people are doing, they're turboing up or something to accommodate, or is it going to a smaller engine? Just, do we know anything about that? Because
No, I do not know. He just told me that if you wait until next year, we're gonna have to redo the specs, because the specs calls for a 9-liter engine, and they're going to a 7-liter engine.
Okay.
That's what they told me. So that's why I was just putting it out there of what it is. And what is the price gonna be after the first of the year? I do not know. He does not know.
Well, and you really don't want the first year version of anything, honestly.
typically it hasn't been
Not to argue for the new machine, but
the best productive way to go.
Yeah.
But it sounds like if we was to do something like in a build aspect, that's the only way we're gonna get it anyway. You know, if we required the turntable and the ripper, it sounds like that's what because they didn't tell any time frame on that. Did they? Just after the first of the year is what you
Yes.
said?
That's what he said. The build machine, he did not tell me how long it would be to go to that machine at that point in time.
Okay. And then jumping into, obviously by the trade-in value of the old machine, the fact that it's sitting there, as long as it sits there, it's still gonna be worth about $35,000. If we leave it alone, it's probably gonna be right in that realm.
It should be right in that neighborhood.
And so then if we do get into one of these things that catch us off guard, if we do wait, as we talked earlier about getting the fund in better shape, is there equipment available that through either one, that can be rented to do to help us out in a bind, to help us out with snow removal? Is that an option for us versus trashing something we know it's got 35,000? Is there any?
Yes, you could rent a machine. They usually have machines out there they're mostly going to be used machines.
Right.
That have been traded in that you can rent from them to run to help you.
Have we ever, the county has, or the roads department ever rented any? Do we have any idea about the fee structure around something like that?
Yes, we have, but it was back when we was rebuilding the machine the first year.
Okay.
I do not remember what it was that we had, what we paid for the rent.
Okay.
And not only that, that was 11+ years ago.
Right.
So.
But that is an option,
it is an
that we could do something and just leave this thing sit. We know it's worth 35,000, just sit there and be 35,000. Obviously they know it's not in great shape also.
They all came out and evaluated.
Right.
So,
Okay. Other questions, gentlemen? Joe?
I guess I would ask if, just like to be clear, like, does the road department like need the ripper this year? You know, like, is that something that really needs to happen this year, or is this just like looking at it? That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, we wanted to look at
How
it.
much it would cost.
Yeah,
I just wanted,
mainly because we do know the age of the construction
yeah, that's good.
machine. Probably a bad year to look at it, seeing where we're at with fund. But
At least it gives you an
it doesn't
idea.
hurt to ask.
Exactly.
Type of deal. So the other side, there was a little conversation of, yes, if you trade a machine with a ripper, how much of that ripper cost goes back in the trade? Probably, I think 50% was the number we talked about.
yeah, I don't know what it would be.
So we wanted to look at it. The big thing is we wanted the hydraulics to the back.
Yeah.
To
Got that.
try
I just
some more
I wanted to be
drives.
clear whether or not that was what the goal was.
And as for the construction machine, it is a good machine for the age and the machine it is in. It is a pretty solid machine. Yeah.
It also is at the shop getting repaired as we speak.
It is that. Yes.
she's not young.
And looking at these, any opinions on the circle high performance versus normal, whatever standard?
Right. Caterpillars would be a standard circle. You just have to keep an eye on it. You have to keep them adjusted. It's what they have done for years and years and years.
Yep.
And they're easier to adjust now than what they were back in the day. Because back in the day, you had to drop the shoes down out from underneath there, which then pinched your fingers as you did this the first time. And then after that, you learned what not to do. And yeah, it's pretty simple to adjust these and keep them in adjustment.
And we know other counties through your conversations with other highway superintendents that are actually using this method of buying equipment. And it seems to be the way now that people want to go.
Yes, it is. It's just a good way to do it. It was an easy way of doing it.
So when we turn this, and I'm going back to the timing of this, if we was to postpone this, and, you know, when we go through the normal state statute bidding, we put it out in the paper so many times and we give them their specs. But if we was wanting, you know, say we had equipment go down, second meeting in November, now our hands are a little bit more tied. This can turn around in a couple weeks' time
Yes, because that's what I did with this one.
versus the other.
And these, looks like both of them have a early, well, one's October 31, one's November 5th, as far as quote dates, valid until.
Right.
So they're valid through our next meeting.
I guess does NMC typically keep a machine on hand, a new one on hand on the lot?
They have been doing very well lately of having machines available to us.
Yeah.
Or available, I should say.
Right.
It was back in the COVID era where we had issues getting machines. But that isn't the problem now.
Okay.
And to speak to putting it off, you're in the right mindset. You definitely want to have something in the shed come this winter. In a bad snow, we have all 14 out. And if we've got a machine down in any area, we need that backup to ready to go. And that we suffered a little bit through that this summer without having that John Deere available. We got by, but it would have been better if we had that spare machine available. Which in turn would be our oldest one if we rotate it around.
The one that's sitting, Greg.
Yeah, right now, that was our spare machine because of mechanical issues.
Right.
Typically, it would have been the one that's running Waco right now, so if we rotate it around, I think it would end up being the one that's in Waco.
Okay. Any other questions for Harv or Greg, either one right now? Okay. I will probably stick with my feelings from before. I would like to see this fund, the shape it is in at the first of the year. And by then having 2-3 months of money go in, then we can see where we're at. I would also like to make some contacts to see if there are, you know, if we get hit by that freak storm, doesn't look like anything's out there right now, but hit by that, you know, can we get something and how quickly can we get it to help ourselves out? Life is full of choices. I do want everybody to know I'm not against buying equipment. It just so happens that the shape of that fund is making me think the way I'm thinking right now. There were choices made to get that fund in that shape. And so this is the answer that I have for that. And I think that reevaluating this and looking at this at the first of the year is the way I would like to see it go, up to obviously this group of 5.
So I agree that it all needs to be thought of. The fact that the machine that we're trading in is in a limp stage, if you will, does make me question, you know, do we need to act sooner than later? The other thing to consider, we did budget out of inheritance for both a motor grader and truck and trailer. So, you know, we could move on this and hold off on the truck and trailer. I mean, that's just one option. I'm fine not making a decision today, continuing to have discussions. These quotes are valid through our next meeting. If we decide, hey, you know what, between now and then, we find out that, really rental isn't going to be an option. I don't necessarily think we need to postpone it with the saying that we will take it up next week. But during the 2 weeks, I wouldn't be opposed to looking at it again next week. I have no problem kind of taking what we've got learned here and just kind of letting the commissioners digest that information. And if it turns out that we decide that the best is to wait till the first of the year, that's fine. I guess what I'm saying is I have no problem not making a decision on it today.
I guess from where I stand is, I do not, in the current situation we're at with the fund, something's got to give, whether it's a motor grader or truck and trailer. From a public safety standpoint, the truck and trailer to me is the easy thing that's got to go. Yes, we can rent a motor grader. Yes, we can rent other equipment. However, if we get that snowstorm, we're not going to get that equipment until the snowstorm's
Passed.
passed. I personally don't want to act on this today. I want to think through the options a little bit harder, knowing what we know today with some quotes. I would prefer to take this up the next meeting after, to your point, Randy, we can check on some things, see what some other options are. Maybe it's a third party that we can have on the hook and that gets us by. I don't see a rental scenario working out for us at all, just due to the sheer timing of it. We virtually have to guess right and rent a week ahead of time, in my opinion. Same time that we can't afford any less equipment fighting our battles with the snow. Really, really wonder, and never been around motor graders, don't know how they work. Is the transmission something that if we had to run it 2 days, won't make it? Probably a who knows scenario is my guess.
That's exactly where it's at.
So I don't know. We need to do something. We can't take a year off completely of all equipment, in my opinion, either from a rotational standpoint. But when it comes down to needs versus wants, to me, a truck trailer falls in a want. Motor grader's probably more in that needs category. Now, I think we can take a month. We did the transfer, see what money's coming in, see what we can do on expenses. If they're tailing off, because our rock hauling's tailing off. Maybe we're in a little better shape than we think. I think a month, requote this and see where we're at. I know not the next meeting, but the meeting after probably is where my head would go from a hold off standpoint.
I think if we see if they'd keep the quote for another 15 or 30 days too, would put us at ease. And I agree, renting you'd still have to buy. So I don't like renting, but if a month we can figure out if they'll keep the bid, because we don't want that John Deere engine to change, because then it'll cost more because it's different. The cab, sorry. We don't want that, because anytime
But
they
isn't that
change,
just if we. were to
anytime they
change it or whatever?
change that,
If to
it
change.
raises.
I wouldn't just change automatically.
Because it's new.
If
It's a
we,
different.
if we put it off till January,
They
then it
might.
will be different.
Oh, okay.
It'd be-
Unless there's one
Unless
of the
this
old
one's
ones.
still set.
We do
Yeah,
have it,
sounds good.
I don't, we can talk about this
Oh,
some
we are
more.
past.
Yeah,
I would-
9:30 was supposed to be.
I would make a motion that we postpone action and that we ask the roads department to reach out to Cat and John Deere to see if they would extend the quote for another 30 days.
Okay, got a second motion and a second. Any other discussion regarding this? And obviously the roads department are there. If we have any more questions, please feel free to contact them. Okay, Mary?
Groves,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, and at this point in time, at 9:35, we will recess and turn it over to Daniel for the Board of Equalization.
All right, we will convene as Board of Equalization. Roll call, please.
Obermeyer,
Here.
Ott,
Here.
Burgess,
Present.
Bowman,
Present.
Rhodes.
Present. All right, open meetings law is posted in the back of the room as well as outside of our chambers in the hallway. Proof of publication for this meeting was in the York News Times paper, October 9th, and was posted on the York County website, October 3rd. First up, review and approve the minutes of the September 30th Board of Equalization meeting.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Obermeyer,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes. And adoption of the agenda for today.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Perfect. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Obermeyer,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Rhodes.
All right. Yes, sorry. Got the vote. Public comment, anybody that would like to speak regarding the Board of Equalization, couple minutes.
Daniel,
Mhm.
Gary Olson, you're gonna see me pop up at 10 till 10 to cover court. I
Okay.
should be back down at 10 after 10.
Okay, very good.
So I am coming down, but I am gonna have to pop up.
Perfect. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment and move on down our agenda. So first up on our agenda today is discuss and act on adopting resolution to set levies for political subdivisions of York County. So these are all of the budgets and levies that have been turned into the clerk's office for the taxing entities within York County's jurisdiction. Any questions? I believe they were available there for your review.
Not necessarily a question, just, a comment for clarification is, this is where general public gets sometimes a little bit confused that the county, we actually set these, but we don't do their budgets. Their budget request is what sets their levies. We do the final setting of these, but we have nothing to do with them, and that's sometimes very confusing to some. And I would also like to bring to the attention, there was a couple of these political subdivisions that the clerk's office should thank for reminding them last week to get your paperwork in. And the paperwork came in very late in the week, otherwise they would have not had the taxing authority to do it. And this is something that seems to happen year in and year out, but the clerk's office goes above and beyond to try to get that information. And in fact, a couple of the budgets, I believe, just came in overnight then too. The preliminary ones came in at the end of the week. And they would have lost their taxing authority, for the year. And maybe that should happen sometime to get their attention, that it isn't up to the clerk to remind them. We all play by the same rules. So thank you to Mary for taking care of that for them. That all being said, I believe the numbers were checked and double checked.
Yes.
And so I would make a motion to accept the levies for the political subdivisions and adopt them via resolution.
Perfect, thank you.
Second.
I got one quick question. Looking at the Heartland community, there's nothing in York County. Should Fillmore counties be in York County?
I'm sorry, what?
Heartland community.
Mhm.
What I'm looking at, there's no levy rates.
For,
On the bond,
No.
Yeah, so Heartland Communities,
Number 96
Number
has,
96,
wait, no, that doesn't.
nothing for York,
Nothing
nothing
for York, nothing
for
for.
96, 22 through 96. And 96, number 22 through 6.
What are you looking at though? Because
There's nothing in the levy, right?
that's because that's a bond.
Oh, that's a bond.
Correct.
Okay.
So that would be
Oh,
zero.
it's a
So
bond,
it's
okay.
the general and special building, which Fillmore County, that's the valuation of the property in that first row. Then Hamilton County, that's
Okay,
the
I'm following that,
valuation.
right.
Mhm, absolutely.
And so those are only assessed on Fillmore County, or how does that work?
Fillmore County, Hamilton, and York. Because there's some Fillmore County residents that pay to Heartland School.
Mhm.
There's some Hamilton County residents that pay to Heartland School,
Sure.
and then York County. Correct. So the certification that I send to Fillmore County will be this point, I can't read it because I'm blind.
Small.
Yes.
0.437652 on the first one,
Yeah.
0.0628.
No, it'll be the 0.440743 is what
Oh,
I
the
will
total.
certify to Fillmore, Hamilton, and to York.
Interesting.
Because it's the general and the special building added together to get that 0.440743.
The other two below is just for the bond. It's just the
Correct.
bond.
Those are going to be separate.
Okay,
Right.
so it's not necessarily, I get it now.
It's just,
What-
I think it's the way the table's laid
Yeah,
out. It makes it
correct.
look like it
It-
follows Fillmore
correct,
across.
and
but
it's
that's not
Correct,
the way it
but
is.
it's not.
Okay,
Gotcha.
that makes more sense.
Yeah, okay, that
Yep.
was confusing me
That's
too.
It's not a linear table.
And
No, it's not meant to be right.
if you look up at the top, valuation as certified by the county assessor, and then funds list each fund.
Yeah.
The personal and real property tax request, tax generated, final levy.
This is broke out.
We got first and second.
We have a first and a second, and we had some discussion. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Roll call, please.
Obermeyer,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Groves.
Yes. All right, also on the agenda is a motor vehicle exemption for York General Healthcare Services. Appears that it is a Ford 2022 Transit van. Van is used for childcare program.
Move to accept motor vehicle exemption for York General Health Care Systems.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion regarding? Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Obermeyer,
Yes.
and Groves.
Yes. All right, we are adjourned.
Didn't want the stick.
I
huh?
didn't pound the stick
All
today.
right. We will come back in as Board of Commissioners. Next up on the agenda is discuss an act on designating a voter and a designee for the NACO 2025 election. This is something that takes place during the annual convention. Pick a couple people. My intention would be to be there again this year, preventing something comes up. I don't foresee it right now, but that convention is teens, isn't it, Mary?
17?
We have rooms, I believe, some of us
Yes.
have rooms already, so.
Yep.
So there would just need to be a second on that, just for the paperwork, just in case. Any volunteers, any recommendations?
And planning on being there, so it could be the second.
Thanks, Andy.
I would make a motion that we designate Randy Obermeyer and Andy Bowman as designated voting representatives for NACO.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a second. It wasn't a tough one. I was hoping it wouldn't be that tough. All right, motion and second. Any other discussion? Mary, please.
Groves,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Next up, you were seen in the packet, discuss and act on an agreement for physical capacity performance testing with York General Healthcare and authorize chairman to sign. As you've seen, there was a little bit of a change in the fee structure for the upcoming year. A few dollars difference. Any comments?
Move to authorize chairman to sign the agreement for York General Healthcare for physical capacity performance testing.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Groats,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. And next up, discuss and act on an amended service agreement with Send for the 20 EMCV 014. This is the construction project that's been at Four Corners. We had amended it at one time to the extra dollars that we had, and now this is amending it to get to the end of the year, I believe. And then finally, December 31st, 2025, as the agreement says, finally we'll come to an end on this particular one, so without any other extension, so. And Gary did look through this and everything was okay.
Move to authorize chairman to sign the amended agreement for Send for the 20 EMCD014.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Groats.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, next up, Kurt must be watching that he showed up timely. Discuss on Vanguard archive contract.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is the archive. Look on page 2, it breaks it down to $41.40 a year. And this just backs up all the information that we add in every year. So it's pretty nice to have this. We did not, I was under the impression I had one archive left for this year. Vanguard got back to me after the budgets had been approved and said, no, you didn't have an archive. So once you guys, if you feel like you're ready to approve this agreement, what I will do is I will email them and say, hey, can we do the archive this year? And then I'll just budget for 2 next fiscal year to make up for it.
So this is something that we have been archiving with
Right.
Vanguard at that rate that was in
I don't know
there.
if it was that rate. This is because it's a 6 years of archives we'd be
Okay.
agreeing to. We get that rate locked in for a year,
So really, you just missed out on your budget, the
4140. So I'll just send them an email and say, hey, can we do the archive this year? I'll budget for 2 next year. They've done that before with other
Right.
counties, so.
So then that would just be a change in the agreement where they would state payment due
Right,
2026, whenever.
right.
After that. Okay. And these archives, are these everything you do, Kurt? I mean, all,
It backs up everything we did, certified for the whole assessment year.
okay.
We
So-
give them a little thumb drive and we keep them in a little safe just to,
It's not a cloud deal,
No.
it's all hard.
yeah, we got it in a fireproof safe, just God forbid anything happened, we have that information.
So when we utilize a backup for the county, and I believe the county attorney's office uses that, your information doesn't go to that system that we use for the county, that,
With MIPS.
with
That-
NIPS.
Yeah,
Okay,
they,
that's all with NIPS though, okay. I can't think of the name of it right now it seems like we're always adding to the backup on that, not gold something or.
Carbonite?
There
Are
you
you
go.
guys
Carbonite, there you
talking
go.
about carbonite? Yeah, that's in the cloud.
Okay, so
Just to
yours,
be outside that.
yours is separate because it's
It's a whole,
Vanguard.
yeah, it's a whole different system.
Okay,
So
all right.
It currently, is that on their system or is it housed on hard drives in your
I think that's on
office?
theirs and then they'll send me a little thumb drive. in the mail. What's that?
Extra backup.
And I got a fireproof safe that's full of those thumb drives, so.
Cool. So could you get that in writing from them to postpone payment?
Yeah,
Could
would
you-
Gmail suffice for you guys?
Require, yeah, well, obviously they'll have to change probably this contract a little bit, right? So just, because does this have any dates in it?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Has
that I missed?
Process by 31st, 2025. It doesn't say necessarily when it's billed.
I'll work with the county attorney's office on that.
Please, if you get that information, and then we can look at that at the next meeting.
Yep.
Any questions, Kurt? You
This
sound
is the-
scruffy, Kurt.
Hmm?
You sound
A little
scruffy.
bit.
Good to have them kids at home, isn't it?
Bringing stuff home from school.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
Could be
Did you have
worse.
something, Daniel?
We've been doing this probably as long as we've been on Vanguard system, which you, or
Since I took over, we've been doing the archives annually, so.
Okay.
It's just like any more good practice, business practice, keep backing that stuff up.
Nothing else. Thanks. Just get that information to us, please, if you would.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. We are down to, we do have quarterly jail visits, and we do have an executive session. Let's go ahead and just tackle the executive session and then come out and do our jail visit and committee reports. Sound like a deal?
We want to do committee reports.
We can do those now too.
Yeah.
You got a lot to say?
Actually, no.
Okay. We can do them.
The
Yeah,
Comline's
let's get
pretty
it
this
done.
time of year.
yeah.
Is it?
Actually, it's been nice because I've had a lot of time to make phone calls and follow up on things.
There you go. Well, let's do committee reports. Joe, you got anything?
I've got a Blue Valley meeting next Tuesday, but nothing from my specific committees in the last couple weeks.
Andy, just the combine?
No, me and Daniel spent a lot of time talking about roads, working with the roads department on various things. That's pretty much got my plate full, honestly.
Okay. Leroy?
No committee reports.
Daniel?
No reports for today.
Yesterday was a busy day around the courthouse, believe it or not. With the courthouse being closed, was a perfect opportunity the trees got all taken care of yesterday. They showed up with 360 showed up with a nice crew, and if you would have been here, you'd have seen it. Hopefully you can see the results of what they did yesterday. Also, as you walk out the front doors, you'll see a couple cones out front. The city's been here and did a curb grind for the handicap accessible, moving that to line up with the ramp that we have. Brian has been in communication with concrete. Well, he was in communication with several concrete companies trying to get him to pour. One returned a phone call. So I told him just utilize them, if everybody else is too busy. A lot of times the smaller projects, they don't want. One of the things that he looked at was we have these benches out here, the tip we haul away is keeping one of the benches here back off of the corner of the sheriff's department, what is the laundry room. There was a shrub that was totally removed yesterday, which it was just hanging over the sidewalk. Anyway, thinking about putting a piece of concrete there and leaving one of those benches here year round for employees and stuff like that. So that will be part of that bid. Joint communications, we met a Friday ago and got a rundown on everything. Call volume is the same as it's been for a number of years now running that. Seems to be running fairly well. Still short 1, 2 in training. It just is the way that operation seems to be going, but that is going good. I'll have visitors in the morning. Last week I had legislative conference down in Beatrice. It was a good conference. I brought up and asked the board of directors to look into the appointed public defenders, look into some form that could help us with budgeting that. And one of the comments from Lincoln County, they actually passed a resolution out there that said any bills due to the county are due within 90 days or whatever wordage they use. I need to get a hold of that commissioner to ask her just exactly to see, even though it would just be a formality, very much the same as the one we just did about the ag land and the Second Amendment, because those judges are still going to write off on the bills. They still, are not, but I'm interested in that. If you guys are interested in that.
Yes.
There was some other conversation that came out of it. There are other entities that are not very good at billing counties apparently, and especially out west. So there's sometimes they have to beg for them to get them in at the end of the meeting. So that was interesting. So I will try to reach out to her from Lincoln County and get a copy of the resolution versus us writing one up. She said it actually kind of helped, people
I think it's great. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
throwing weight around that we don't have, but just we'll throw it around.
Right.
One of the other ones that was interesting was, currently there is no statute on making public officials have their name and number available. And one of the commissioners from Seward County would like to see every village, every appointed or elected have to be on a website somewhere with their name and their number and stuff like that. Now, a question was brought up about cell phones. Does it have to be that? And they said, no, if you have a business phone that you're there during the day that you can be communicated with, would be fine. But so that is something that Commissioner from Seward County is pushing. I don't know where it goes from there, but so that was, it's always an interesting legislative conference. Senator Von Gillern was there. Senator Von Gillern is the head of the Revenue Committee, and we had a nice conversation with him, Q&A. He left plenty of Q&A about that. So it was good to, if we ever get an opportunity to, it's always held in a different district of the 5 districts. Last year we was out west. This year we were in the southeast. I don't know when it circles back around to us, but here.
A couple of years ago, it was up north. I
Yeah,
think, so
yeah.
it's-
And we've had it out to the Holtus, so it should be getting close in there somewhere. That's the main thing that I have. Mary, do you have anything that you want to chime
No.
in about?
Just doing good. Moving along.
Nice to know you're doing good. Me and Mary did a little math together a few times this week, so, didn't we?
I'm glad I like numbers.
Yeah, like them or not, we got to deal with them. Okay, you want to do the jail visit first, or you want to do, don't matter to me, we can do whichever. I don't know that they know
Well,
we're coming.
We can go do a jail visit and then come back.
Come back and do an executive session.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a recess, go do the jail.